The house is quiet. The air is still. All is at peace, resting, but me. I'm in a fridge, skimming pages, slamming keys, screaming at the internet for being too slow, all in a rush to finish an essay due in 13 minutes. This face was not destined, designed by another, nor were my own plans or actions impeded by another. No, this was of my own doing. I was the one who played Call of Duty, scrolled through Instagram, and fell victim to Watch Mojo top 10s. This could have ended in a piece I was proud of, an A, or even 8 hours of blissful sleep. This is not a mistake or a one-time thing, but a recurring problem that not only affects me, but many others. I and many more have fallen to procrastination. Procrastination is but one symptom of what I like to call disrespect for the true value of education. And when we get overwhelmed, we blame the school system or the teachers who are just doing their job. School is an opportunity that can and will lead to greatness, or at least a cushy job in life. Millions of people prove this every day, and we seem to ignore the facts that students sometimes get lazy or preoccupied. After many tried and failed essays that eventually led to this direction, I heavily researched using this method known as Googling. I first wanted to prove that America's school system wasn't a complete failure. After writing down and calculating a bunch of numbers, I realized I could have simply looked up US graduation rate, which came up as 84% in 2016. This is a solid evidence against my stance on America's education system. It is way too low. It shows that it is too difficult for people to succeed in. Also, this excludes the thousands of impoverished that were not able to graduate due to social class. Just in case you didn't catch my drift, I was being sarcastic. The graduation rate is the first proof that America's school system isn't a complete failure. Yes, it is still thousands not graduating, but how many of those thousands don't care or try? And even then, there are thousands more, but the school is not to blame. Instead of just looking at schools and calling them failures, why don't we ask why? Some people complain that schools have no room for creativity. Well, maybe it's because any extracurriculars like art or music are the first things to go when schools have no money. There are thousands of underfunded schools throughout the United States, and when the graduation rate is low, we blame the schools. According to Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, schools are underfunded by $753 in Connecticut alone. What is even worse is that Connecticut is one of the lower populated states in America, meaning that the national amount is exponentially more. It is not only the schools that are deprived of money, but the people. We seem to always turn heads away from the fact that thousands of 15-year-olds kids are dropping out of school because their family can't support them pursuing a higher education. So is it really the school system failing us or our society as a whole? We are the ones allowing a socioeconomic conditions where people either turn to crime or a life of manual labor. We are also the ones that spend 54% of our taxes on the military versus a 6% for our schools. Just for reference, a measly 6% is $38 billion in this country. Or a 1% is $38 billion in this industry. Speaking of countries, here's an account of education in another. My father, the original Ruben Enrique Cepeda, went to school in Mexico for 13 years. 3 in preschool, 6 in primary school, and 3 in secondary, and 1 for getting his private accounting certificate. Just for reference, Mexico has a multi-track school system, with the morning track being from 8 to 1 p.m. and the afternoon from 2 to 7 p.m. Being under the watchful eye of his father, a teacher at the school, and his grandmother, the principal, he either sank or swam. He did not want to drown, so he graduated with straight A's. That alone could have gotten him into a higher field, but he said he got his certificate in accounting just to get his dad off his back. Even with his certificate, he became a driver. He could have had a cushy desk job or even gone for public accounting, which is basically a supervising position with good pay. I asked why he didn't. He looked away and said, "Because I was tired of school." going since I was 3, and now I'm tired every day I come home from work. He didn't only have the opportunity to do well in school and get a good job, but he did do well in school and had a job guarantee. This only proves that it's not the school, it's the person. After this revelating deep conversation with my father and a few Googles, my opinion has not changed except for the increase of confidence with newfound evidence. Everything was confirming from the astounding evidence of US's graduation rate being 84% and rising, which is so much higher than expected after hearing so much criticism. To the more saddening, however, true facts on how school funding is severely deprived. All this research really just proved America's stance on public education, which is school is a public opportunity to make something of yourself. Not only an opportunity, but a choice. If anything, this journey of research was just further validation of my personal beliefs and just narrows down to what I would do if I had the authority. I wouldn't change the schools that much. I would change the people. Create a society where education is an equal opportunity and has sufficient resources and is not some degrading struggle that you could only pursue if you're financially able to.